Hey everyone, it's Jessica and I'm back with another process video for the ThermOWeb design team, and today I am showing my scrapbook layout for the Christmas tree week we are having. And I have started off this layout with a piece of craft paper for my background and a cut file by Paige Evans that says Christmas tree in the shape of a Christmas tree, and I have already cut that in some smooth white cardstock. And then I am actually going to make a shaker pocket out of the O using some sequins from one of my other design teams, and I'm just gonna throw those in there. So what I'm doing is I've just pulled out some transparency sheets. They're just clear. You can also use packaging from like an old sticker sheet. There's my little one grabbing everything off my desk. And you can use an old sticker sheet if you want, that's just clear and transparent. And I have just cut them out in the shape of my O. And then I've cut that twice, so I have a top and a bottom piece. And then I'm just cutting down some of this foam tape from the big roll. And I'm just cutting it into little teeny tiny strips to actually adhere and kind of create that pocket for my shaker. So I'm just cutting that up because this is the smallest foam tape that I have on hand here right now. So I'm just using what I have and I'm just cutting it down into little strips so I can just put that around that edge. So all I'm doing is I'm just going to layer those transparencies. I've glued the one down already. So I've glued my top one and then just put my foam tape down around those edges. And then I'm gonna pop my sequins in here. I'm kind of focusing on some more of those little cute snowflakes that are in this mix. I've added a few more than what dumped out there and took some of the sequins out. And then I'm simply just going to place the other transparency that I cut out on the other side. So it just creates a nice little shaker pocket. So that's it, super simple for that. Next, I am going to run my flock sheets. I've pulled out some of this blue color and I'm running that through my manual die cutting machine with that embossing die or embossing folder. And it's just kind of like a little design that has dots on it just to give it some texture. And I love embossing the flock. I think it just looks so pretty and it's something really, really cute to back your cut files with. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do here. I'm just cutting, I'm taking my letters off of my cutting mat here that you can see on the right. I'm pulling up my letters and just cutting a little bit larger than the actual letter from the flock so that I have something to adhere it to the back of my cut file with. So I'm gonna skip through some of this so you don't have to watch me cut each and every letter, but that's all I do. I'm gonna cut the Christmas letters in this blue shade, and then I'm gonna cut the tree letters in just some black, which I've also ran through my manual die cutting machine, but you really can't see it on this video. You can see it in person, but it's very, very hard to tell that I've actually embossed it. Because I actually spray some of the glitter dust spray on it as well, so that's more noticeable than the actual embossing, but I'm okay with that. And then I'm just gonna pull out my Ultra Bond glue. I love this glue. It dries clear, so you don't have to worry about making a mess with it whenever you're applying. And I just run this all around my edges. I have cut a little trunk piece for my little tree trunk out of the Tuscan Gold color because it's like a brownish color. And I've backed that piece, and then here is the finished backed cut file. I sped that up so you didn't have to watch me glue down each and every letter. And then here I am backing the whole cut file in a paper from the small paper pad by the Warm Wishes line by Vicki Boutin. And I've just pulled out that collection to finish up this layout with. I'm just kind of adhering all of these letters down with my tape runner, and then I'm gonna use that Ultra Bond liquid adhesive again on the outline so that that sticks down really good, because I want this whole cut file to adhere to that backing really, really well. So I don't want any pieces to stick up. So that works out perfect. I just love that little cute shaker and the texture of the letters. You'll see a little close up at the end of the video so you can see the texture as well. So my photos, you can see that my toddler had been using my scissors and my cutting board, and he kind of hacked into my photos. So you know what? I made it work. I didn't feel like reprinting them, and it was okay because I could actually still use the photos. He just hacked off the bottom. in the top of the one, so he didn't cut out anything that was that was like that I needed to use, so I just made them into squares and made them work. And I actually like the size of them better, so it works out well. So here I pulled out some distress oxides. I'm just gonna make like a little glow behind my star with some scattered straw distress oxide, and then I started with some bundled sage for the green around my tree, but you couldn't really see it on the craft paper, so I pulled out the Rustic Wilderness distress ink instead for that because it shows up a lot better. So that's how it's gonna look. I'm gonna put that down there. I'm gonna pull out a couple of my sprays to actually splatter onto my background. So I'm gonna pull out some gold. I'm gonna pull out the gold glitter dust and just kind of spritz that around where my tree is gonna lay. As you can see, it's super pretty, super sparkly. Again, you'll see the close-up later. I'm also spraying it right directly on my cut file. I love this spray. It just gives it such a gorgeous shimmer, and it's absolutely stunning in person. And it actually dries pretty fast, so you don't really have to wait around a long time for it to dry. So here's that gold shimmer spray that I'm using. This particular one is just one by, I think it's called Sheer Shimmer Craft Spray by Imagine, something like that, if I remember right. And then my cut file itself, I am going to pop up using that same foam tape that I had. I just wanted some dimension and it to pop up off the page so that I could add my photos around it. And I've also added some black shimmer spray as well, which is just the Heidi Swapp one. So there you can see all that texture and that sparkle. It's super pretty. And I'm just pulling out my 4 photos here that I'm going to use, and I'm just matting those in some smooth white cardstock. I've cut them all into squares, as I mentioned before. And I'm going to create kind of like a lighted garland to kind of hang my photos from. So I'm just pulling out some of these papers that I had scraps left over from this collection from Vicki Boutin, and I'm just matting these photos again, and then I'm going to distress all of those edges with my edge distresser. And if you don't have an edge distresser, you can use just your scissors as well. So it's a super easy technique to do, but it just kind of creates some texture to your photos. But see those little lights, I got those from Hobby Lobby a long time ago. Actually, my kids, when I was shopping with my boys, they pulled them off the rack. I told them they could pick a sticker set, and that's what they picked out, but I ended up with an extra one in my cart, so I had one for each of them, and then I had the set. So I just pulled those out, and I am using those as kind of like a little garland. So it's perfect for this layout. I thought it'd be super cute to make it look like my photos are kind of hanging from the lights. And because these photos are actually photos of them decorating our tree. So this is from last year. We didn't get our tree yet this year. So hopefully we'll do that soon. It's going to be December. So yeah, usually we get our tree in early December. I notice a lot of people have their trees already up, but we like to get a real tree, so I like to wait until it's at least December at some point to get the real one. That way it doesn't dry out before Christmas. So yeah, we need to go and do that, but we have to go to a tree farm and walk around and pick it out. So hopefully the weather stays a little bit warmer for my little ones. I now have 3 little ones. Those of you that have been following me know that I was pregnant, and I was due November 10th and ended up having my baby on November 3rd. So I'm blessed with 2 boys already, and my 3rd one is a girl. So we are super excited. We love her so much. She's a very good baby, so we are very blessed. So I'm just going to continue this layout and just add a few embellishments here and there, and I'm just pulling out little bits and pieces from the same line from Vicki Boutin. It's very coordinating, everything goes together, so I like to stick with the same collection. And I'm just going to continue embellishing this, and then I'll pop in at the end with the finished layout. So here is the finished layout. I absolutely love how this came together. I thank you guys so much for watching and appreciate the support. And I will link everything below for you if you are interested in purchasing any of the products that I used today. And stop back again to see what we have in store for you. So thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.